Hello, welcome to Trossi Takes, where every story deserves a take. I am Sebastian, and today, for the first time in a while, I'm going to be checking out a death battle. Now, this is, I believe, it's Sentry versus Superboy-Prime. Now, I've only heard of Sentry. I forgot which Marvel movie he was in. I saw it recently. Um, but I know very little about him, as well as Superboy-Prime. I know nothing about. So, very excited. With all that being said, let's go ahead and check out this death battle. Oh, let's- all right, here we go. This is exciting. I like this.
Sentry versus Superboy-Prime.
These two dark supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
One superhero stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
To save us from himself.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen until the day he accidentally drank this super soldier serum.
At that moment, Robbie was imbued with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gonna be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new
Boomstick.
powers than to become a sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your classic.
Yeah, that's the
can't
movie I
believe
saw
he's
him
not
in.
Kryptonian superpowers like
I
super
can't
strength,
think of what it is
speed,
right now.
durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
Do butterflies sneeze?
No!
Well, Sentry's cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make
Molecular
force fields.
Really,
kinesis?
the Sentry
That's a
can
thing?
draw power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while
Jeez.
holding back.
Sentry can teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's
Whoa.
even built his own watchtower with an advanced AI that is constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Jesus Christ, he's
Wow.
like the Avengers all in one. Why do
Yeah.
there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk, where Black Bolt,
What?
Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast, too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within plank time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's
Jeez.
stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. The Surfer flew so fast he went back in time, so you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's
Oh.
broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
So-
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because
Okay.
the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Bum,
Wow.
bum, plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was,
Jeez.
in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible, with Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great. Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, you know, the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death, yeah.
Try controlling the kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create and
Molecular
destroy
kinesis.
matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Boyd's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With
Sounds
his
terrifying.
infinite tendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki.
Jeez.
He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic
Well,
Four,
Doctor
the
Strange
Inhumans,
and Loki
and
as Sorcerer
the X-Men
Supreme?
teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Boyd
Jeez.
is one of the biggest bads in Marvel.
Yeah.
Great fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way
You're a
forward, the
moron.
only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. Let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged
defeated Dr.
and became
Doom,
stronger
too?
than the sum of their parts.
One being now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
Wow.
Do
Okay.
you believe a man can fly?
Yeah, Wiz, within the pages of DC Comics, everyone and their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England who just happened to share a name with that comic book character.
Mere coincidence. That is, until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did. Surprise, surprise. Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now. Anyway, the real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Bubsy, don't jump off the... Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Ow. Just in
catch.
time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon. The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
Wiz,
no.
we're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
With
That
everyone
sucks.
he knew and loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy-Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths,
Yeah.
a time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman
Yeah,
could
what's up with
sneeze
that?
solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him like it was nothing.
Or clash with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century. Not that I'm complaining. That's how I get paid.
Prime would know he is a self-described power scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's heard about us?
We can only hope not. As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy, literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to be better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians grew in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought a potential future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of teaming up, Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home, back to his original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him, he pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC.
And a little bit of Marvel.
Only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta.
What the
Prime
hell?
had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Wiz, you think he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered the Golden Age Superman, the original Superman. Action Comics #1, the first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. he needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of reality.
Prime was drafted to help save the day, and it turned out he was the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics?
Yeah.
Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly, and he slowly learned how to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch!
At first, its effects were random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters inside of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guys so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Punch
Who
his
was
way out of the
powerful
Phantom
enough
Zone.
to beat Perpetua,
Damn.
the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that no one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly, and it was the first step toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly.
Wow. Okay.
All right, the battle's about to begin, but first, pitch calls are back.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz.
And I'm
Hey,
Chad,
Ben.
the voice of Boomstick.
And we're
Hey.
reopening matchup pitches on the Death Battle store.
This is a way to meet
Oh.
with Chad and I, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch your favorite matchup to us via video call.
I did
Yeah,
not
a
know
lot
that.
of episodes that are being made right now are because they were pitched. But to give each pitch the time it needs, there's a limited number available. So go pick them up right now before they're gone on deathbattle.gg.
That's our website. It's kind of like our own private Patreon with a bunch of extra stuff in every episode of
Nice.
Death Battle ever made.
And if you're a website member, you get first dibs. It'll first be available to Chronicler tier, then Archivist, and so on.
Every purchase directly supports the show. Oh, and members also get
Okay, I know about that. GG. All right. So, based on everything I just saw, I don't know. So based on everything I just saw, I think Superboy is gonna win this. I mean, he rewrote. He basically went into DC Comics and can rewrite reality apparently to his will. When you mess with stuff like that, it can be kind of tricky to counter exactly that. So I think first glance, I think Superboy-Prime is gonna win this. I don't see how Sentry is gonna. I mean, he's powerful and all, but I don't think I don't think he's gonna win this. With all that being said, though, we'll see. So my money, Superboy-Prime. Let's find out.
An Archivist, and so on.
every purchase directly supports the show. Oh, and members also get a big store discount.
G.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's go. All right. Let's go, Superboy.
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
Mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork. Onomatopoeia coming right up!
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns!
Okay.
Big mistake, dipwad. It's prime time.
It's what?
Oh.
You kidding me? Another Dark Superman fraud? Boring! It's cool when I do it.
Hmm.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you.
I'll kill you. To death.
I mean, isn't that the idea?
Bye-bye, Bob. It's
What
time
the
to
hell?
play God.
That was horrifying. Oh my god.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want. If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy? Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori?
Oh no. Uh-oh.
It's over, Clark. There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me.
Or is there?
Not for anyone else. In the void.
Uh-oh.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Oh.
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis averted.
Yep. I knew it.
I don't think I've ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this
Yeah.
down into 3 chapters: their strength, intelligence, and powers.
As with
Okay.
any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime
Yeah.
and Sentry are naturally 2 of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable of matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they've fought: Molecule Man and the Darkest Knight.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man, but remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power, so we can only scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Knight after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan, both of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Knight was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the edge in strength. But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While
Okay.
Prime does possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly does not use it to its full extent.
It's less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager.
Yeah,
and has a habit
I was
of
gonna say.
crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry was the more intelligent.
Yep.
But the main
Okay.
question in this matchup had to do with their batshit insane powers.
With the Sentry's ability
This is
to
where Superboy
reshape
takes it.
molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of of him. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However, this feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
With no way to easily put him down, Prime would eventually muscle his way through and retcon the Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob. Defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is Superboy-Prime.
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy-Prime. Letter to the editors? Oh yeah, I win. That's right. You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now,
Prime
personally,
time.
that intelligence section was such a gimme. I don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real,
No, you
intense
crashed out.
emotion. I can be smart anytime I want. But anyway, don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
Next time on Death Battle.
Next time, let's find out. Avatar? Ooh, interesting. Okay. Wow. Well, I've got to say, that was a good death battle. I think there was just no way that Sentry was gonna be able to counter Superboy Prime's reality warping DC comic breaking BS that he was doing. There was just no way it was gonna happen. Ah, but that was awesome. That was very cool. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing these again. I hope to go through some of the older ones, so we'll see what happens from there. But let me know what you guys thought of my reaction in the comments below. Also, which death battles do you think I should go through? I should give my take on next because I'm kind of curious. I think I'm probably gonna go through them all, but I don't know how long that's gonna take because there's so many of them. Um, but yeah, let me know your take in the comments. Once again, I'm Sebastian, and this was Trossi Takes, where every story deserves a take. And I will see you all in the next one.